one-stop shop for B-Bender-related videos, and as the title suggests, it is indeed open string bender workout time here in the bunker. You know, as a lead country twang player, or as one is endeavoring to be, I can't get enough of the open string licks into my repertoire. They are surely the twang secret weapon. You get so much chime, so many extra note options without having to move your hand all over the neck. It's just a great thing to incorporate into your twang playing if you're trying to be a lead player, and especially if you like the styles of what I like to call the sports car players, the guys that like to drive fast, your Brad Paisleys, your Brent Masons, those type of guys. I kind of consider myself more of a comfortable sedan with an occasional turbo boost option. But for those fast drivers, they're not necessarily playing single notes all the time. They're alternating with a lot of open strings, and that's how they create such a high volume of melodious notes for you to enjoy. It's a combination of notes and open strings as they do their runs. And so what we're going to do is take some of my basic favorite open string runs in A and one in E. One goes down, kind of descending, one's going up, and we're going to work them and incorporate them into the bender and try and create a nice twang mix of open string and bender for you here in this lesson. The first 8 notes is a great example of what I'm talking about. It's this. So you can hear the chime, you can hear the ring. But science has shown that of those 8 notes, 3 of them are open strings, so almost half of them, and that's what open notes do. They give you a lot of extra chime, they give you a lot of extra note options without having to move your hand all over the place. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun with them. If you're not familiar with them, you're going to get a good introduction. If you are an open string aficionado like me, you're a connoisseur, you collect as many as you can, then maybe we'll do a couple things you haven't had before. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this intro by playing the lick in isolation so you can really decide if you want to commit. Again, this is going to be an A. It's a basic 1, 4, 5, so it's going to D and E as well. And it's going to go like this. Here we go. So you get a descending open string lick. That's the A part. We go to D, not a lot of open string there. That's more about the popping some twang and getting the bender involved. And then when we go to E, we're going ascending into a bender run. And we finish strong back in A. Fitting, we end with a bent B open. All right, that's what we've got ahead of us here. If you want to get into some open string bender mania, go grab that guitar. It's coming up next. Well, okay, looks like you stuck around for the open string bender workout here in the Bender Bunker. Appreciate it. Nice to have you on board. I think we're going to have fun melding the open strings with the hot bender action, or at least endeavoring to do so. And as we usually do with these lessons, to make them a little bit easier, we're going to divide and conquer. And fortunately, the chord changes make that easy to do. The songs in A does go to D, E, and back to A. So we really kind of have 4 sections to work with. Let's start with the open A section, which sounds like this. All right, let's knock that out. Not too hard to do. Index finger on the high E 5th and your ring finger next to it on the B string 8th. So you start with the high E 5th, pick it once, then you go to B string 8th, pick it once. Now you want to take your finger off the high E so you can hit the high E open. You take your other finger off to hit the B string open. So your 3rd and 4th notes are already open notes, so it's... Alright, top 2 strings are ringing open now. This allows us to go over to the 3rd string 5th with our index. When we get there, we pick it once and we roll up to the 6th fret above it with our middle finger. So it's 1 pick and a roll. When we get there, that allows our ring finger to go to 4th string 7th for a note. Once we hit that 4th string 7th, that allows us to take our finger off the G string so we can hit the G string open next to it. That's a 4-note sequence. Now we've got the 4th string 7th ringing with the G string open next to it, right? All together. And when you get smooth with it like that, you have the top 3 strings ringing sympathetically with that 4th string 7th, which is the only note you have fretted. All right, so that's the opening section. Now let's get the other half of the A, which is this. And to do that, you take your index finger on the 3rd string 2nd. You're going to pick it once and then roll off to the open G string. And as that's ringing, you take your ring finger over to the 4-string 4th for a note, and then you hit the open G string next to it. So it's really 4 notes. So you've got the 4-string 4th ringing with the G string open next to it. And then now we still have the finger there on the 4-string 4th. We're going to pick it again once, and that's going to allow us to roll down to the 2nd fret with our index finger on the same string, use that friction to pull off to an open D string. So it's really a triplet to an open string. And when I get to that open D string off that triplet, I also am allowing my index finger to kind of go over to the G string next to it right there and deaden it. So really by the time I finish that, the only thing ringing open at that point is the 4th string by itself. And then as that 4th string open is ringing, we're going to take our middle finger and do 5th string 3rd fret for a note and then roll up to the 4th above it. Now those are all tightly grouped together. Sometimes I can get the 4th string to ring sympathetically with it on that last note. Sometimes it's just that 5th string by itself. But again, that's just there on the 5th, 1 note on the 3rd, roll up to the 4th. So. All right, all together. There we go. Now I can get the 5th string 4th fret ringing with the open D string next to it. That's the A section. Let's move on to the D. All right, now to move up to the D section, coming off this low A section, of course we've got our, right there, our ring finger on the 5th string 4th fret. Let's keep it there. We're going to slide up now on that same string, the 5th string, to the 9th fret. So 1 pick and a slide up to the 9th. When we get there, we allow our index finger to hop over to the G string 7th, and we play that note next. So it's right here, pick, slide up to the 9th. When we get there, index over on the G string 7th for a note. Just like that. So now you've got the 5th string 9th and the G string 7th ringing together. The D string in the middle is being deadened by my ring finger. All right, after we hit that G string 7th, I need 2 ghost notes right out of that shape. So it sounds like this. So it's really kind of 4 notes, only the first 2 are live, the next 2 are dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And those dead notes for me, again, I'm just kind of resting my ring finger there off that 5th string. I'm resting it on the 4th string so I can hit that dead, and then I'm lifting up on it but keeping it on the 5th string 9th so I can use that as my 2nd dead note. And then coming off that 4th dead note, we're going right down here, kind of just move that pattern down. Now your index finger is on the 3rd string 5th, and that's the note you want coming out of that section for 1. So all together. 1, 2. So for context. Our first bender section. Fortunately, we are in D and we're right where we need to be for the D bender box, right? Top 2 on the 5th, so it's going to sound like this. So we come off this section. Now go ahead and let your index finger's right there at 3rd string 5th. Let it cover the top 2 on the 5th and do a pre-bend, okay? And then once we do that pre-bend, start with your high E on the 5th. So we do high E first, then we go to the B string to let the bender down. And I let it down kind of quick. And that allows my ring finger to go over the G string 7th to complete that bender shape for D. So what I'm doing there again is I've got it pre-bent, top 2 on the 5th, start with the high E, then go to the B to let it down. We've got G string string 7th cover. And then what I'm doing there is I'm just kind of doing a real quick. So again, we're going benders down now, and then I'm just going to pop over. I've still got the B string covered on the 5th of my index. I'm going to do a real quick pre-bend and let it down. All right, from the top. Benders down now, and we're done with the D section. Now the song's going to E, so we're going to do an open string ascending up lick, which is. And that's working your bottom E, then you go to A and the D, and each part of that run starts with the string open. And so we're going open, low, E, and then we're going 2nd and 4th. I'm using my index and my ring. So open, 2, 4. Really, I'm picking the open, I'm rolling the 2 and the 4. Doing the exact same thing on the A string next to it. So it's open, low, E, roll 2, 4, open A, roll 2, 4. Now we're going to do open D string, but this time we're just going to do the 1, 2 roll on those frets. So here we go. Alright, so there we are. I've got my middle finger there on the 4th string 2nd fret. That allows my index finger to fall nicely on the G string first. What I'm really doing is making the top 2 notes of an open E chord since we are in E. Alright, but again, I made that shape there. Got the index finger on the 1st fret of the G string, so I can do this now. Bender up, bender down. Again, once you get to that last note on the 4th string 2nd fret, index finger's dropping behind it, 1 fret on the 3rd. I'm down picking the top 3 strings, taking the bender up. Once the bender gets up all the way, I'm hitting the high E open, and then I'm hitting the B string to let it down. All right, all together. All right, so here we go, all together. Basically have made an E chord here. E's ringing out, and we're going to go back to the final A section, which is this. Okay, so what we're doing there, we're coming up, we're working the 3rd and 1st strings in A. Very typical A twang shape, right? So my middle finger sliding up to the 3rd string 6. Allowing my index finger to go make the A note on the high E 5th. So as I slide up to the 3rd string 6, get there, I make the high E 5th, and then I make a dead note. So it's really 1, 2, 3, and then I do a high E open. So those 4 things together, slide up, G string 6, high E 5th, dead note, E string open. Slide, note, note, dead string, high E open. Now what I've also done is I'm making that dead note and getting ready to hit that high E open. I'm pre-bending the bender at the same time, all right? Already bent, right? Now, I've got the bender. What am I going to do with it? Well, I'm going to drop down with my middle finger to the B string 3rd and do this. I've done there is I've come up and I've got the pre-bend right after this. Pre-bent. I'm dropping in my middle finger to the B string third. I'm letting the bender down though before I really note it. I'm bending most of the way down. I don't think I go quite all the way down, but I've let it down almost all the way, and then I hit that note to bring it all up, and I'm droning it with the high E that's still open. I'm basically making the same when I get to the top of my bender. Right? We've got the third string bent all the way up on the third fret in the high E, and they're droning each other. And then I hit the high E again. Finger off, B string open for the bender down. Then end up on the third string second for that A note. Through it. Those are all the sections. I'm going to play it all the way through here at a little bit slower speed. Now you do need to play a little fast to get a little bit of the chime going, so here we go. I said here we go. Now a little bit more up to speed. Last part makes a lot more sense when you're playing it up to speed. So really just keep working the parts, and once you get past just learning the notes and the muscle memory where to put your fingers, start concentrating with your ear of how much of the chime of the open strings behind what I'm doing can I maintain without deadening by accident. That's kind of the fun of this lesson. Open string, bender action, melded as one, hopefully to your taste. Take the parts, as always, take the parts you like, make them your own. Maybe just take the open string parts, maybe just the bender parts, whatever works for you. Learn it all, heck. And in the course of doing this and learning this, if you enjoyed any part of it, good time to hit the thumbs up while you're thinking about it. It's a great way to support the channel, and I will always appreciate it. Of course, you do have to be logged into your Gmail or your Google account to hit a thumbs up, so you may need to do that first. And if you're new to the channel here, the Bender Bunker, we take a small diversions, but mostly we are country twang lessons centered around the B-bender guitar. And if you are new to us, go ahead and hit that subscribe button waiting for you down there while you're thinking about it. And if you have any friends that might need to know that this channel exists, share it with them while you're thinking about it. I certainly would appreciate it. As I always say, we are a small but mighty group, and we're always looking to bring more members into the fold here in the Church of the Bender. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit that backing track, play the lick one more time to get us on out of here. And of course, if you ever get bored in between these lessons, go ahead and hit the show more section below this video. You'll see a link to our Instagram channel. Lots of fun guitar, drinking beer, and my dog catching frisbee action there. You can't beat that, I'm telling you. It's all good, clean fun, as they say. All right, I'm going to play us out of here after I say our motto. It is never too late to go in a bender, and I certainly hope you do, especially if it involves open strings and a bender. I will see you next time. Until then, do me a favor, and as you know what to do, keep it bent.